Okay, picture this. You wake up in Elmore and the Wattersons are just normal. Except they're not. They're never normal. These are the folks who can turn into water droplets, break the fourth wall like it's bubble wrap, and casually rip open the fabric of space-time because they miss the bus. So today, we're putting that energy into a clean, fast, ridiculously fun breakdown of the Wattersons' strength, ranked from the tiny 1% power moments to their wildest 100% anime-level transformations. And yes, we're doing this YouTube style. Quick pacing, punchy visuals, and big, wait, they can do that? Energy. If you end up yelling at your screen, perfect. That means we did it right. And hey, if you're new here, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite Watterson power-up. It genuinely helps the channel, and I love reading your takes. Let's start with the blue cat who thinks with his mouth, not his brain. Gumball. At 1%, his body is basically a cheat code. In The Secret, he and Darwin get flushed down a drain and literally become water droplets that fit into a bottle. That's beyond rubber hose cartoon logic. That's physics is a suggestion energy, and it sets the tone, because right out the gate, we're not talking push-ups. We're talking shape-shifting biology. By 5%, he's eating himself, yes, actually eating himself, and respawning like it's a Saturday morning glitch. Also, the mustache turns him into a muscle-bound menace off a cereal mix-up. He downs Richard's supplements, locks eyes with Tina Rex, and suddenly it's 30 years of puberty in 5 seconds. Boom. You can feel the bass drop when he swings.
Enough!
At 10%, things get philosophical. In the rerun, Gumball gets his paws on the reality remote. We're talking time fast forward, rewind, hard pause, and subtitle editing. Is it an external device? Sure. But there's something terrifying about a character who already knows he's in a show holding the literal remote to reality. Put a pin in that meta power. We're coming back to it. Now, at 25%, Gumball flexes something almost scarier. He changes his DNA on the fly. In The Apprentice, he pulls out his own genetic code like a bendy straw and tweaks it in front of Mr. Fitzgerald. Minor adjustment, major consequences. He walks out summoning weird creatures like he ordered chaos off a menu. He's not just strong. He's a walking patch update for his entire biology. At 50%, we get speed. Not late for school speed. Everyone else is frozen while I move speed. In The Origins, he blitzes through reality so fast that glass shatters from his scream, time crawls, and he basically hits that sci-fi threshold where moving faster than light makes everything else look paused. This isn't a one-off either. In The Countdown, he and Darwin break the fourth wall so hard, time literally stops. They spin the time bar like a DJ and warp to the polluted future, the Big Bang, and monkey times. Is that canon physics? Nope. Is it awesome? Absolutely. Then the meme level, 69% power. Nice. This is roast mode. In The Best, he argues so hard that the air ripples and social media would implode if he had Twitter. This is where the fourth wall starts to sweat. Gumball doesn't just notice the camera, he messes with transitions, subtitles, and even yaps at the Cartoon Network president mid-commercial. He knows he's fictional, knows he's the lead, and plays with that like a cat with yarn. If narrative control is a superpower, then Gumball's already broken the skill tree. Finally, 100% power. The anime form. In the past, he goes full Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan 2. Spikier hair, lightning aura, energy that screams, I'm about to monologue about friendship, and then one-shot the villain. And if you apply Saiyan logic, every time he gets wrecked, he comes back stronger thanks to that Zenkai boost. Which means there's no ceiling. The longer the show runs, the scarier he gets. Plot armor, number, plot artillery. Now let's talk Darwin, the deceptively sunny fish who evolved through pure love and said, legs, please. Don't let the smile fool you. This guy's power is comedic nuclear. At 1%, he's calm in the chaos. In the internet, as cars whip around them and traffic melts down, Darwin stands in the street basically untouchable. That's not luck, that's innate survivability turned up to 11. At 5%, the dude is fast. In the car, he and Gumball tear through Gaylord Robinson's chores like a montage on triple speed. Raking, clipping lawns with nail clippers, petty king behavior, painting fences in every color on Earth. Mr. Robinson tries to spill juice and Darwin just casually gulps it midair. Precision plus speed. He's not just a blur, he's a problem solver at supersonic. At 10%, the anger unlock. In The Bros, Darwin gets jealous of Penny and taps into that petty rage that turns sweet friends into terrifying rivals. He blocks shots, bodies Penny, and puts on a quiet clinic. We see it again in The Remote, where he scraps with Nicole and Richard, two heavy hitters, and holds his own. The mustache gives him the same accidental man mode boost as Gumball. And yeah, they launch Tina through a wall with a dodgeball. Not normal child behavior. Cartoon power, verified. At 25%, Darwin goes verbal nuke. In The Word, he graduates from polite claps to scorched earth roast sessions. He drags the entire school to filth, stands atop a pile of skulls in a music sequence, and it stops being funny for Gumball real quick. Their fight starts as imagination, until Darwin slams into a wall and the world reacts. That's the moment you realize their imagination battles can spill into reality whenever the plot wants them to. Scary. By 50%, the timeline's a toy. In The Countdown, Darwin helps break time, remixing epochs like Spotify playlists. Disaster Future, Big Bang, prophets about to be sacrificed, just a Tuesday. And note, this keeps happening. Darwin breaks the fourth wall in multiple episodes. He's not just a passenger in Gumball's meta-chaos, he's a co-pilot. 69% power? Bless you. No, seriously, sneezing. In The Allergy, Darwin sneezes level houses, launch families across the planet, and eventually crack the camera and shatter the entire screen to reveal the void. Then later, a high-pitched squeak shatters the world again, and the show just resets like nothing happened. If he can delete the world with a squeak and then reset it, that's god-tier control disguised as allergies. He's like a walking YouTube demonetization beep with apocalyptic range. And 100%? No beams, no lightning, just love. In The Origins, Darwin evolves, literally grows lungs and legs, out of loyalty to Gumball. That bond powers them up like a Goku-Vegeta duo. If Gumball is the chaotic main DPS, Darwin is the smarter, steadier Vegeta. Less flashy sometimes, but arguably more dangerous when he lets go. Together, unstoppable. The only thing saving Elmore is that they haven't fused. Yet. Enter Anais, the pink plush genius who could outthink a room full of Bond villains and still be home by nap time.
We need to get rid of this Zack, permanently.
One step ahead of you. I knew this day would come.
By changing his name to Gumball at the town hall.
Yeah, that's what I...
At 1%, she's lifting grown men like shopping bags, the castle, and shutting down creeps mid-chaos. At 5%, she casually hacks like she's speedrunning cybersecurity. Proxy chains, server clusters, decryption, stuff that makes adults sweat, and then locks the family out with a password strong enough to make Gumball and Darwin literally explode from rage.
How are we gonna get that?
Don't worry, I have my ways. H-A-C-K, hack. Press enter.
Really? Hack?
Just kidding. Actually, I bypassed the storage controller, tapped directly into the VNX array head, decrypted the nearline SAS disks, injected the flash drivers into the network's fiber path before disabling the IDS.
She's 4. Imagine kindergarten parent-teacher night. At 10%, she's trained. We catch her mid-karate practice like a tiny boss character, enough aura to make Gumball physically recoil. She's not just smart, she makes people flinch. She also reads the world like Sherlock. In The Parking, she profiles drivers based on tan lines and habits, predicting behavior like a system admin for human nonsense. If she's noticing melatonin and wrist marks, your secrets are not safe. At 25%, she starts playing with horror. The puppy introduces a demonic turtle that simply refuses to die. Who corrals it? Anais. Who likely feeds it so it won't end the neighborhood? Also, Anais. And in The Fridge, her paintball psychosis is, look, if you see Anais in face paint, run. Run hard. At 50%, the invisible car chase, the check, might be the coolest flex she never gets credit for. Nicole steals a check and peels out in the invisible car. The family chases. Anais outdrives them, invisibly. If you're wondering how you outmaneuver people in cars no one can see, exactly. That's how far ahead she is. Also, she sliced a school bus in half in The Worst just by being in a bad mood. Pro tip, don't poke the rabbit. 69%, merging. In The Parasite, Anais is so clingy with Jody that they literally fuse. Gumball and Darwin assume Jody's the parasite, until the nurse reveals it's Anais. It's creepy, it's brilliant, it's body horror light, with a bow. If your friend can absorb you to keep you close, that's not friendship. That's an SCP. And 100% power comes when she's a newborn in The Rival. She weaponizes babyhood like it's a supervillain origin story. Cement traps, moving trucks, boiling water, sugar artery clogs, a bag of bees, actual bombs. And then, her first words, framing Gumball. She's so smart it borders on demonic. It's funny until you realize she was days old. Days. Now Richard, sweet donut-hoarding Richard. At 1%, he's so powerful that he beats an unbeatable game by misusing a calculator, or calculator, so badly it explodes.
There's a couple of little glitches with certain commands, like if I try to use the arrow with the balloon, see what happens. So yeah, pretty good game, 8 out of 10, would play again.
His brain is smaller than Anais's, confirmed. But that's the gag. His unpredictability is a power in itself. He can ruin the universe by existing incorrectly. That's terrifying. At 5%, he's ripping car doors off in The Remote, sprinting faster than the kids, catching remotes in slow-mo, and going toe-to-toe with Nicole in hand-to-hand. He's massive, untrained, and somehow matching a martial arts beast. If your tank character suddenly gets agility, somebody's patching the game. At 10%, he invents a joy virus with a hug. The joy starts with a wholesome embrace and turns into a pastel zombie apocalypse. That's the most Richard thing ever. Tries to help, creates a crisis. At 25%, the diet turns him into a shredded demigod, immune to tasers, striking poses at house fires, and treating attention like oxygen. It's funny until you realize he can flip between morbidly obese and superhero ripped like a slider bar. Reality doesn't have a grip on this man. At 50%, the mask drops. In The Console, the world becomes an RPG and Richard becomes a skyscraper-sized raid boss who finishes the big bad with a flaming ring of doom. In The Menu, he runs through buildings, across water, and down the highway at 200 miles per hour chasing a burger, which implies at some point he was moving fast enough to literally run on water. The math breaks. The show laughs. Richard keeps running. By 69%, nice, he's untethered from physics. In The Box, he jumps out of a moving car, cancels his momentum, dodges a rocket, beats a trained fighter, and rips off a steel door barehanded. Add body acting like it's made of plot convenience to the list. And then 100%. This is the big one. The job. When Richard gets a job, the universe collapses. Night freezes at the grocery store, it snows in June. Senior citizens float. Reality starts coming apart because this man dared to clock in. The Wattersons have to stop him from delivering a pizza because one delivery equals universal annihilation. He gets fired, reality reboots. What do you even do with that? He's a cosmic hazard. HR cannot fix this. Which brings us to Nicole, the anchor, the problem solver, the scariest mom in animated history. At 1%, she's already bench pressing plot lines. In The Fight, she storms into Rex's warehouse. Rex, as in dinosaur muscle, and absolutely dismantles him. She could have sued. She chose hands. Also, at 1%, alternate reality, Nicole conquers Earth as a cyborg queen if she stays single. Not metaphorical, literal planet domination. Even her what-if scenarios are S-tier. At 5%, she breaks the sound barrier clearing traffic in The Fury, then flips to full superhero mode in The Mothers. A threat appears, and she blasts through obstacles, punches a dude into a wall pillar, and senses danger like a bat signal for moms. Bonus. She vaults off a butterfly without harming it. Gravity looked up and said, "I'm on break." At 10%, she weaponizes words. She goes full Pat God on Larry, melting ice caps with insults, and momentarily turns demonic in The Authority when Granny Jojo criticizes her parenting. Eyes glow, voice drops. Cabinets fear for their lives. Even her temper evolves. At 25%, she snaps. The kids beg for candy one too many times and she goes full darkness mode in a store. Fanged, clawed, aura blazing. Security tases her, bad move. She eats the voltage and ages the guard 20 years with a stare. This is the moment the mall realize they can't afford her smoke. At 50%, we get Hulk Nicole in The Money. Square jaw, terrifying calm. She doesn't go berserk, but the message is clear. One wrong move and things get folded. The only person who can turn that form off? Richard. The chaos neutralizing the storm. weirdly sweet. At 69%, 2 words, killer robot. The castle and the pizza prove that when society fails, Nicole shifts into apocalypse survivor mode instantly. Bandits pull up, they get swatted like flies. One guy essentially dies because she exhales. She's over here airbending people into regret. And then 100%, the anime mastery. Long before Gumball's hair spikes, Nicole and Yuki were dojo sisters under Yuki's father. In the tournament final, Yuki had technique, Nicole had will. Nicole wins. Yuki leaves dishonored. Their friendship shatters. Years later, Yuki returns, weaponizes her influence, and forces Nicole into a rematch. The gym becomes an anime arena. Punches blur. Ki blasts crackle. Yuki whips out a Kamehameha-style finisher. Nicole blocks with an energy shield, counters, and finally lands the knockout. She offers peace. Pride ruins it. The roof collapses. Their kids are trapped. And then, together, they lift the debris and save them. Friendship rekindled, power contained. Nicole's 100% form isn't just strength. It's control, compassion, and the choice not to break the world even though she could. That's what makes her the most dangerous and the most admirable Watterson. So, what does this all mean? It means every member of this family is broken in their own special way. Gumball is meta-chaos with infinite scaling. Darwin is a smiling god who can sneeze reality off the table, then put it back like an Uno reverse card. Anais is baby Moriarty, who studied homicide before she could crawl. Richard is a sentient plot hole in sweatpants. And Nicole? Nicole is the final boss who chooses to be a mom first and a world ender second. If Elmore is still standing, it's because their insane power is balanced by their even more insane love for each other. That, and because Cartoon Network has insurance. Now I have to ask, who's the strongest Watterson in your book, and why is your answer Nicole? Or are you planting your flag with Darwin's sneeze deleting the world? Maybe you think Richard's "I get fired, the universe stabilizes" is too broken to ignore. Drop your ranking in the comments and tell me which moment made your jaw hit the floor. And if you had one of these powers for a day, just one, what are you picking? Reality remote? Anime form? Invisible car driving? Be honest, you'd go for the remote. If you enjoyed this breakdown, slam that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. We're doing more wild power scaling, weird lore, and did they really do that? Moments from your favorite shows. Also, share this with a friend who thinks Gumball is just a silly cartoon, and then watch their face when Nicole eats a taser and ages a guy with eye contact. One last thought. Underneath the jokes and the chaos, the Amazing World of Gumball treats imagination like a muscle and love like a superpower. That's why the Wattersons keep breaking limits, because they care about each other more than they care about rules. And that's why we keep coming back. It's hilarious, it's heartfelt, and it's secretly about how being a family makes you invincible. Just maybe don't hand Richard a job application.